Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's me, Mirth, and I hope you guys had a really good 4th of July. And if you don't live in the USA or don't celebrate the 4th of July, then I hope you had a good day because I love you guys. I mean, it was really interesting, you know? In my case, I wouldn't say I'm the luckiest, but it was interesting. That's the least I can say about it. I mean, the 4th of July this year was pretty normal, just like any other day. I would watch YouTube, play video games, record a video, edit, witness a fight of my neighbors. Let me give you guys some background knowledge. I was just enjoying my day. That's it. That's all you need to know. I mean, usually every 4th of July, me and my family would usually eat stuff from the grill, like, for instance, meat. Literally meat. I don't know, beef. Eat some hamburgers, hot dogs. Any meat. I don't know. And after the dinner, I just vibed. I was just listening to music, playing some Minecraft. So I was watching, like, YouTube videos for, like, 2 hours after I ate dinner. And then out of nowhere, I started hearing screaming from outside. I mean, usually, if you're me, you know, who lives in the suburbs, I don't really hear screaming that much outside of my house. I don't know about you guys, but where I live, it's pretty safe. I feel like it's a little too safe. Like, the police here don't really get that much action. They usually just slack off and, I don't know, teach some dare. Only 90s and 2000s kids wouldn't remember that. So anyway, I started hearing screaming, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not normal. So I look out my window, and what do I see? 4 cop cars, 4 police cars outside lined up on the sidewalk, 1 ambulance, and one guy being pinned to the ground by several officers. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow. IRS? And then I start wondering, why is this happening? I don't usually see this much cops in the front of my house. I mean, I'm a good kid. I don't do anything wrong. Even though it was night and I couldn't see anything, I don't think anybody got hurt. All that happened was that the police got this one guy and dragged him into the police car. And after 10 minutes of having him in the backseat, they just drove off. And then next day comes. You know, I wake up, watch some YouTube videos, and have some lunch. And then I ask my family after lunch, yo, what happened? What happened yesterday? There were like 4 police cars, you know, in front of the house. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like, it looked kind of serious. And then they told me the full story. So what they heard from the neighbors was that it was a family party that was going on. They had a cookout. They had some fireworks. I think they had a jump house. They were having a really grand old time. So it turns out there was this one guy who was dating this one lady in the household. And then at one point the guy who was dating the woman just randomly offended her because of her looks. I don't know why you would do that if you're dating them. I don't know why. Like, that doesn't make any logical sense, but they did. And since everyone else was like a little tipsy from drinking a little bit too much alcohol, you know, 4th of July, you know, that's how we do it in America. Well, since everyone else was drunk, they started getting a little bit offended. So one of the other family members started to step up. He started puffing out his chest and started stepping forward in front of the guy and said, "Nice guy." But he actually started telling the guy, "Hey, back off. Don't you say that about my family member." And then the guy who was dating the lady started to walk more forward up to the guy and saying, "Oh yeah, well, what you gonna do?" And guess what happened when 2 grown men start to approach each other? Take a gander. So basically, the relatives started saying, "Ha, catch these hands," and they both started swinging at each other, and they started beating the crap out of each other. Then at one point, the relative had the boyfriend down on the ground in the grass and started smacking him. Like that's what I call some aggressive patting. So of course, the family had to break up the fight, you know, as like most normal people would. And then that point, that's where my perspective comes in. That's when I start hearing the screams. And then everybody keeps on screaming, and then at one point, the woman who was dating the guy who offended her said, "You know what? You know what, guys? This behavior is not acceptable. I'm gonna call the cops." So she does, and then everybody starts to be calm. Everybody's temper starts to lower down. Everybody feels alright. They just needed a cup of water. That's all. So after like 10 minutes of everyone chilling out, everybody being okay, they were like, "Okay, truce. Yeah, okay. And then they concluded, we're just being Americans. This is how we do it in the States. But since everyone was calm and everybody was cooled down, they kind of forgot that that the lady called the cops. So back to my perspective. 4 cops in an ambulance come to the front of my house. They're all lined up on the sidewalk. The police rush to the doorstep. They start asking where the guy is. And then once they get in the house, they get the guy, put him in the police car, and drive away. But now since I know this information, I'm kind of confused. This is why I'm confused. I'm confused because they took the relative and went off. If everyone was already calm and cool about it, why didn't the other family members tell the cops, hey, this guy's chill, it was just an argument, everybody's okay? But no, they just took the guy. They went like, yeah, take the guy, take the relative, I don't care, leave him. He was kind of cringe. Not really vibing with my style, if you know what I mean, officers. I can just imagine the police right now. Where's the guy? Where's the guy? Where are the guys fighting? Oh, over there, officer. It's him. He didn't pass the vibe check. He was cringe. But for now, that's where it's at. And yeah, so what did we learn from this story? 1, be nice. 2, don't drink. And 3, this is what happens in 4th of July. If you guys want more storytime videos, please let me know. This was fun.